Hey everyone, welcome to the CaptainDrone YouTube channel. Look at this, I'm out with another plane in the summertime. This is the FMS Pilatus PC-21. Now, if you're an avid subscriber to this channel, you know that I fly hundreds of RC planes, and I've gotten a little bit bored with flying RC planes because there's not many new ones that I haven't flown. However, I never flew this one by FMS because it was not available in Canada. Now, this plane is available in Canada. You can get it online at the link I'm placing below. So I was one of the first guys to order one, and I have it, and I've already flown it, and it flies amazing. It flies really well. Now, if you're not familiar with the PC-21, it is a real plane, and it is used in many air forces around the world. And this one, I believe, is modeled after the Swiss Air Force, based on the bottom. Now, you can fly it on a 3S or a 4S battery. I have flown it for the one flight on a 4S 2200, which is kind of small, and I got 7 minutes of flight time out of this battery, which is incredible. Now, you can fly it on a much larger battery like this, the 4000. I haven't tried it on that, and you'll get 10 minutes of flight time or more with this battery. Now, I'm just going to take the hatch off and show you something pretty cool with the battery here. So I've got this camera looking down on the battery hatch, and I just want to show you something. Look at this. It's massive down there, and the battery is located right in the center of gravity, right in the center, so you can put massive sized batteries. But look at how tiny this little 2200 is when I put it down there. You can tell it's designed for like a massive battery. So I'll take that out and let me pop in the 4000. You can see with the 4000 it fits even better. So I love the fact that the battery sits almost in the center of this plane. Out of the box, the motor is designed to have reverse thrust. So let's see, I can fly backwards. I'm going to put in reverse thrust.
Reverse thrust.
And here we go. Going backwards. Well, it's stuck in the gravel here. So reverse thrust is something you use when you land on a short runway, or maybe you land too far on the runway and you're running out of runway. You get it down, the wheels are on the ground, you're about to crash it into something, hit the reverse thrust while you're on the ground, and it will stop dead. It will stop dead in its tracks. It's really good. I tried it on my maiden flight and it works really well. Right now. Put the brake on. Next thing to show you is the surface areas, and of course you have ailerons, and you can get the ailerons to really move if you play with the throws on the ailerons, you know, the end points. It also has some beautiful flaps, takeoff,
middle.
and they go down quite a bit. So there's my flaps coming back up. Then of course it has elevator, and of course you can play with the end points if you really want a lot of elevator for aerobatics, and of course you have rudder in the back. And of course you have front steering. Your forward wheel turns with your rudder, so you can steer it down the runway. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is take this for a flight, but I do want to say the following. My runway is gravel, and on my maiden flight, this gravel causes the front wheel to get caught, and it pulls it to the left or the right. So it's very difficult to take off on this runway because the plane is pulling to the left and the right, and you don't want it to go up in the air pulling to the left or the right, or else it will do this. As soon as it goes up, it will just tip right over. You have to keep the ailerons pretty much level and the rudder pretty much straight when you're taking some air. But anyways, I'll take it for a flight. I'll stick some cameras on the plane and you can see how it flies. Just want to show you the retracts coming out. There you go, very nice. And then of course going up. Nice. All right, there we have Sergio flying his plane. He's doing some 3D maneuvers, getting it to hover nicely. I'm gonna have a bit of difficulty because I'm gonna take the Pilatus and I'm gonna whip it down that runway and try to avoid Sergio. This plane gets stuck in the gravel.
Flaps middle. Flaps raised.
And now for your viewing enjoyment, let me show you that takeoff from the perspective of the nose camera.
Flaps raised. Landing gear raised.
My only observation is that this plane takes off beautifully with very little throttle. And now let's check out that takeoff. Looking to the rear of the plane, I placed one Insta360 camera on the nose, looking back towards the pilot and the tail of the plane.
Flaps landing gear raised.
So I'll be coming down the runway now, doing a low pass. Okay, Sergio, I'm coming down the runway. Okay, this can be a bit tricky because I have to bring it down low and avoid Sergio and me. There we go. Nicely done. Going up. And here's a view of the low pass over the runway from the perspective of the Insta360 nose camera. Then going up over the parking lot. And here we have the same flight from the perspective of the reverse camera. Okay, now another low pass, but this time I'm gonna go over the grass to the side of me, right over here. This plane flies so beautifully. There's a huge crosswind happening, but look at this thing. Looks gorgeous. And here we have the view from the nose camera doing a low pass over the grass field. Up around. And here's the same flight with the view from the reverse camera. I'm going to bring it up in front of me. Up. There we go. Next, I'll do a pass at full speed so you can see the speed of this. I'll try it over the grass first and then I'll do it next over the runway. So it's fast. Here we go. This is full speed. Yeah, you can barely see it. It's through the sun. Maybe the onboard cameras will pick it up. Okay, I'll try to do a high speed over the runway. There we go. Hard to catch in the camera. I'll try another high speed pass coming down. There we go. That was a nice one. Good pass on that one. There we go. We'll try to do a fast pass over the grassy field. High speed pass. High speed pass down the runway. Slow pass. Whoa. Not only can the PC-21 fly fast, it can also fly extremely slow. Check this out. Slow pass. The PC-21 is also designed to do aerobatics. All right, now I'm gonna bring it out for landing. Don't need any flaps because we have too much wind happening. Crosswind, yeah, it's pushing it side to side. I'll just glide it over the ground here. I do have reverse thrust. Right now. Put the brake on. That is nice.
Down. Reverse thrust.
Here we have the box the PC-21 is shipped in. When you open the box, you'll find the actual PC-21 box, and when you open that box, you'll find all the contents nicely packaged. Items in the box include the 5-bladed prop plus the nose cone assembly, the tail wings plus the tail wings wing spar. Then of course you have the very large main wings, followed by the very large fuselage, And then you'll find a bag of hardware to assemble the plane as well as the owner's manual. Now assembling the plane is super easy. Just take that wing spar that goes for the tail wings and you're going to pass it through the fuselage along with the tail wings. So here you can see I've passed the wing spar through the tail of the plane, and then I'm going to take one of the tail wings and pass it over the wing spar. Then do the same on the opposite side and push the tail wings tightly together. When completed, it will look like this. Now to hold everything in place, you'll need 4 screws, and those 4 screws fit into the 4 assigned holes. Now on the bottom of the plane, you need to install a control rod between the horn on the elevator and the servo. A control rod is included in the kit. When you put it in place, it should look like this. Now before you install the main wings, untangle all the wires. Then pass all of those wires through the hole in the bottom of the main fuselage. Next you'll need 4 screws to secure the main wings in position. Then screw the 4 screws tightly in place. Now it's time to install the main prop. First attach the base plate, then attach the prop, then attach the large nut and tighten it in place. Then attach the nose cone and secure it in place with one of the screws that is the same size as the screws you use to attach the main wings. Next you can add your own receiver, your own battery, and go fly. Alright, you're back to me, and you want to know my final thoughts on this plane? Well, after not having bought planes for a while, I was surprised to see this was on the Canadian website, so I'm going to put links below to the FMS Canadian website, as well as other places you can buy it if you live in the United States, if you live over in Europe, or if you live in other countries in the world. All the links to where you can get this plane are below this video, and it's not super expensive for what you get. And now, as in all my videos, people always ask me for some negatives and positives, and when it comes to finding negatives, I have to really think hard. This plane here is awesome. I like it, and I think I'm going to keep it. Usually I don't keep planes very long, but this one here I'm really enjoying, so I think I'll keep it. It's pretty darn decent. So a negative, well, there's no lights on it. I would have liked to have seen some lights on it. I'll have to put my own. Second thing is you have 1 pilot in the cockpit, not 2. There's a spot for a second guy back there. I would have loved to seen 2 pilots. I don't think it would have cost them more than 10 cents to add another pilot back there. And like I say with every plane on the market, by FMS, E-Flight, Freewing, Flightline, X-Fly, there's so many names out there. They never give you a spare prop. That's a beautiful 5-bladed prop up front, and it's not too far off the ground, and if I nosed it in a little bit, I'd probably damage the prop and I have to get another one. It would have been nice to get a spare prop in the kit. As for positives, this plane flies so well that a beginner could fly this. Now, I don't mean a beginner as in this is your first plane. I mean this is your second plane. You know how the controls work on a radio and how to set up a model and a receiver and go fly. But definitely as a second plane, this will be a beautiful plane. You'll probably love it so much you'd probably never get rid of it. My other positive is that I love that they didn't go with the military camouflage design that some countries have. I really like the red look. It looks really, really cool. So this is an awesome looking plane in flight. And my last positive is the size. One of the complaints I've had that many people have heard me say in my videos is I'm trying to sell all my large planes because they take up too much space, but this is the perfect size. Anything around a meter wingspan is the size I like, and this has it. So this is beautiful. All right, I'm going to put links below to where you can find this in Canada, United States, Europe, and other parts of the globe. So go below this video and check all the links, and it might even be on sale right now because the summer sale is on FMS, and this one might be on sale as well. And if you have any questions on this plane, post your questions below and I'll get back to you. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate that, and I will catch you in a future video with many cool product reviews. Until then, I say bye.